If your magic feels like it's stuck in second gear, or you're looking around wondering where that "wow, I'm a witch" feeling went, this episode is for you. And hey, if you've never lost that spark, please, honestly, share with everyone how you maintain it, and be sure to use hashtag #NotEveryWitch. We'd all love to know your secrets. Welcome to Not Every Witch, the podcast that dives straight into the heart of what it means to fully embrace your magic. I'm your host, Michael Blackthorn, and today we're talking about reclaiming that raw, powerful connection you had when you first began your witchcraft journey. Because let's face it, no matter how strong it is at the start, the sense of wonder and excitement can fade. Life piles on, we get distracted, and suddenly our magic feels like it's been sitting in the back of the closet. But today, we're going to reignite that spark, uncover hidden powers, and get you back to that buzzing, all-powerful feeling that's been there all along. And if you're ready to jump in and connect with others who are reclaiming their magic too, check out all the ways to join our community at noteverywitch.com/subscribe. I mean, I do want to talk about that initial rush you feel when you first dive into witchcraft, the enchantment, the sense of mystery, and that overwhelming feeling that you're tapping into something powerful and ancient. It's divine, it's pure ecstasy. But over time, that awe can fade, right? Witchcraft becomes a habit, and like anything we do often, it can start to feel a bit routine. Today's about reigniting that excitement, awakening any suppressed sort of power within, and bringing your full magical self back into the picture. Because honestly, witches, if we're going to do this thing, let's do it right. No more going through the motions. We're here to reclaim that fire and feel like the magical badasses we are. I think that most of us can relate to that because, you get excited and you feel, and I think it goes back to sort of like the beginner witch luck, where you feel power, you feel the surge of energies, and it's exciting and enticing. And then as you start to sort of maybe acclimate to this new world view or this new perception, things start to dull out. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just, I feel that happens with anything, right? Your passion for it or your excitement for it, because we learn more about the ins and outs of how things work, and so it sort of removes the mystery as much as it can with witchcraft, and so it does sort of like fizzle out a bit, and that's okay. That's I think that's natural, but I think it's also natural to want to get that back and to learn to get that back. We can learn to train ourselves to see things in a new light and to be excited about all the things again. And the first step to reclaiming your power is knowing where it's gone missing. Sometimes life just buries it. For me, it's all too easy to get caught up in the demands of running my own business and doing all the things. It's just me. I have no assistant, so there's no, magical gnomes handling my social media or marketing. I'm wearing all the hats, really, which means I'm constantly pulled in a million directions. And when I get wrapped up in that grind, it can leave me feeling disconnected from my magic. I know I'm a witch, but there are times it feels like my spark's gone dim, like I've tucked my magic away in a drawer somewhere. It's a little sad, but I think that, again, that's normal. Maybe it's the same for you. Maybe it's that never-ending to-do list or the feeling of constantly having to adult. Sound familiar? Trust me, it's not something to feel any type of way about. It's natural and it happens to the best of us. But today, we're here to dust off that inner strength and reconnect. And you'll notice, like with the podcast, it's going to be different all around. Like, I'm gonna have exercises, or we're gonna talk about spells, and some is just gonna be me ranting and raving and blah 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 blah. So it's a mix of all the things. This episode just, it wanted to be more like active, more hands-on. So let's try a little exercise, one that lets you reconnect with those powerful magical moments that made you feel truly alive. Grab a journal, a notebook, even a cocktail napkin, whatever works. Write down a few moments when you felt an undeniable magical connection. Maybe it was during a spell, or a sign appeared and you just knew it was for you. Remember that tingling in your fingers, the buzzing energy around you, or that deep grounded feeling of being in tune with something greater. Now, let's take it a step further. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and think about where that energy might have gone. Imagine that spark you once had. Where could it be hiding? Does it feel buried under daily responsibilities, maybe tucked away in the back of your mind like a forgotten memory? Is it hidden behind layers of stress, self-doubt, or even the routines that make you feel safe but maybe too comfortable? As you write, you can open your eyes now. But as you write, ask yourself these questions. What might be holding that energy back? Is there a place in your life where you feel that spark could be lingering, waiting for you to remember it? When was the last time you truly connected with it? Was there a reason it faded after that moment? Take some time here. Let yourself envision these things without judgment. Sometimes it helps to imagine your magic as a little flame inside you. A flame that might have grown dim but never fully gone out. Now picture coaxing it out of hiding. What does it need? Maybe it needs a space where you can practice without interruption. Maybe it craves excitement, a new ritual or spell to reignite that feeling of discovery. To start coaxing that energy back, consider making a small promise to yourself that you can keep. Like, don't make promises that you know that you're not going to follow through with. So make sure that you make something, you commit to yourself, okay, and that you can follow through with it. It could be dedicating a few minutes each day to a simple ritual, like lighting a candle or taking a moment to breathe deeply and feel your energy. Or try going outside for a walk to connect with nature, carrying a stone or crystal to remind you of your magic. Little by little, as you honor that hidden spark, you'll notice it grows stronger. Magic isn't always about grand gesture. Sometimes it's about those quiet, persistent whispers that bring you back to yourself. And so this exercise is to help you remember, like, when you feel you first felt that sort of magical tug, and the excitement and the lust for life and desire to experience these things, and you hold on to that energy while you ask yourself some real questions, like, where did this energy go? What is covering up this energy? And don't judge your answers. Like, let your first initial response be what you write down, and then after you answer all these questions, go back and look at it. Go back and look at what you've expressed. I will also share one of my first, like, back in the day, I was in beauty school, I think. One of my first pagan prides, I was in beauty school. I remember they weren't going to give me the day off because we had school was on the weekends. Well, not Sunday, but Saturday. And Pagan Pride was that day. And I was like, no, I need this off. Like, this is something for me. This is religious, spiritual, whatever. And they weren't going to give it. I'm like, no, you gave that person who was Christian those days off for those things and blah, blah, blah. This is no different. And you're going to give me these days off. So we got out, we got that approved. I went to Pagan Pride, and it was super fun, super exciting. I loved it. Very fresh, very new. And I will always remember one of the first things first sort of like lectures, I guess you could say, that I attended was this lecture on tarot. I'm trying to remember like how it went. It was tarot. So she was talking about tarot. She was talking about like death, and she was like, she's talking about death and how the death card wasn't about death, but there are cards that are that support death that in readings that coupled with the actual death card can signify like physical death. But then after that, I think she was talking about, and I don't know how it went from tarot to this, but she was also talking about reclaiming your power. And so she had everyone kind of like stand tall, stand strong, ground, and center. And she gave us this exercise. So ground and center, focus on your heart space, focus on your power, your body. And she said, you know what, you can do this daily, like at the end of the day. But you have to, and she yelled, like she was like, you say, I command and I call back all my energy that I gave out during the day. I call it back to me to return, to be transformed for my highest and best, to return to me. And basically when we meet people, when we like, oh, bump into someone, oh, so sorry, we give little bits of our energy out. Or if someone sees us and they're like, ooh, jealous because of, you know, our amazing fashion sense or whatever, I don't know. You know, they can take some of our energy. And so at the end of the day, we call it back, we claim it, and we allow it to return to us. Transformed, you know, we don't want all their nasty ass energy tainting ours, but we ask for it to be transformed and return to us in our highest and best. And we feel the energy come back to us. And I always thought that was great. And I share that with you today because I think it's important. I think sometimes we give so much of ourselves, even when we don't recognize, like we're doing all the things. Society today has us doing all the things, stretched so thin, always towards like that burnout, really. And we just need to reclaim ourselves again. We need to call our energy back. And so I feel sometimes the disconnect is because we don't have our energy fully embodied. And so try that out, see if that helps. But again, y'all, I'm nosy, I really am. So like, if you try these exercises out and you want to talk about your experiences, join us on Discord, or just, you know, tag the page across social media. Actually, I shouldn't say across social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram right now. But Discord is the best way. We can have actual like one-on-one conversations or group conversations, but it's a little more intimate. So we can swap stories. It's a powerful way to remind yourself and each other that our magic never truly leaves. So again, if you want to join us on Discord, you can head over to noteverywitch.com/subscribe for, again, the link to join. So let's get into some like breath work and grounding. Once you've identified where your magic feels dulled, like the space that it's in or what's covering it up, let's reconnect with it. So two of the most powerful tools for this are breath work and grounding. Super simple, but deeply effective. And I feel like we don't give it enough credit. Like so many nowadays just want all the fancy things, but like a foundation in breath work and grounding and meditation, all of those things are foundational and really powerful, because the more we learn, the better we get at those things. So when we revisit them, it's like, oh, learning something new. And so again, simple but effective. So find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath. Inhale, exhale, all the things. I don't have the voice for guiding you through meditation, so I'm just going to give you the technique. But yeah, focus on your breath, deep breaths, visualize yourself pulling up energy from the earth, from Gaia, beneath you, reconnecting with your inner power. And so like the way I visualize it, like I see myself planted, I look to the center of the earth and see that fire, see that intensity, and see that as like Gaia's womb and her passion and her aggression and her assertiveness and all the things, like not just like all these love and light things, but all the frustrating and challenging and chaos things too, that blended together make something, right? And so I see all of that at the core of the earth in Gaia, and I bring that up because it's pure, it's divine. And I pull it up into me. So picture each breath as a cycle, drawing in the essence of the elements, air filling your lungs, the warmth of fire igniting your passion, water flowing smoothly through you, and the solid strength of earth anchoring you. Allow yourself to simply be in that space as the energy around you flows and strengthens you. This isn't about achieving stillness. It's about rekindling your connection with the magic that flows through you. And I don't want you to get like, oh, I have to be quiet, I have to be still, I can't think of anything. No, just be in the moment, be in that present moment. If a thought pops in, that's fine. Let the thought pop in, let it pop out. Allow yourself to just focus on your breathing and keep going back to your present moment and allowing that energy to flow through you and connect with those elements, connect with Gaia, and allow that energy to sort of like, I don't know why pop rocks totally just, popped into my head, and that's kind of most likely age me, but it's fine. These like just bursts of energy pop in. And reigniting like excitement and passion for just your magic. I remember a time when I felt like I lost my spark. That spark had faded. I didn't feel as excited anymore. Still cool, but like it just, there was just something. It felt missing. Life was chaotic. My practice felt routine, going through the motions, and I wasn't feeling connected. So I walked outside one day. It was a calm day. Oh my gosh. Barely a breeze, nothing unusual, just it was a nice day. But something called me to focus. I stood still, closed my eyes, and focused on my breathing, quieting myself as best as I could. Then I asked myself to remember the basic. Kind of remember like when I started, who I was, what drew me to my path, remembering the foundation of the elements, the essence of witchcraft itself. I looked at the grass, the earth, the trees, the birds, the clouds, all through the eyes of a witch. I just kind of went out there and I was just perceiving natural things around me through the lens of a witch, like connecting with something more. Does that make sense? And as I focused on my breathing, in and out, I recalled the power that had once felt so close, especially my connection to weather magic. I do love weather magic. I thought back to when I was a hexling, tugging at the wind, one of my first magical affinities. So I reached out with the same energy and pulled, feeling a shift within. The breeze picked up. It was subtle, but unmistakable for me. A whisper of acknowledgement, as if the wind itself responded to my call. I let myself sink into that moment, overcome by the energy all around me. Sometimes all it takes is a pause, a deep breath, and an invitation to remember. And that was so simple. And I'm not saying that that's going to work for everybody, but I think it helped. I do think it helps. And to remember like what you enjoyed about your craft and what the first things you learned, and now where you are in your craft right now, how to get back to the basics, but with a different perspective and utilize that to feel inspired again. I think that's important. Also, I'm going to say this. Okay, I use the term, this is like a side note, terminology. I use the term hexling to refer to new witch because a lot of people, for whatever reason, have decided that the term baby witch, I literally just heard the term toddler witch. They thought that was a good idea. And I'm trying not to be a super cunt and be judgmental, but I'm kind of judging. It disgusts me. It gives me the ick. And I don't mean to be rude about that. I don't know what it is. Like referring to yourself as a baby witch or toddler witch, it icks me out so much. And until I was like thinking, okay, well, if we're going to try to use terminology, what can we do? And so I'm like, okay, hexling, hello bitch, new witch. Like if you can't say new witch, hexling, that's so cute. So cute. Make use of it. I don't know. Just don't refer to yourself as a baby witch because you're not a child. You're not a baby. You're not. And that's just a me thing. I recognize that's a me thing. So don't feel any type of way. You can either get on board or not. Still call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. That's your right. And I do recognize that is a me thing. So anywho. Let's get back on track. And remember, bitches, you don't need a full moon or a $200 crystal to reignite your power. Sometimes it's as simple as stepping outside, breathing in, and asking your magic to show up. Because again, we've all seen those scams where it's like, oh, if you pay me so much money, I can give you power, or I can reignite that spark again. And I was like, bitch, no. I don't need an outside source to reignite that spark. I have to find that within. I have to choose to remember that. I have to choose to reawaken that. It's up to me. So I feel like a lot of times we tend to try and give outside or external influences far more power than they need, and than we should. And so just remember that. So if you try this sort of like grounding meditation, the breath work out, if you have one that you'd like to suggest or have a similar experience in reconnecting to your path, I'd love to hear about your experiences, because I love listening to other people's stories. And again, I'm nosy. So join us on Discord, or just use the hashtag #NotEveryWitch and share your thoughts and your experiences. Also, let me know what you think of the term hexling. Over baby witch. I'm curious, but yeah, I just can't wait to connect with everybody. So let's bring in a bit of magic with a ritual I really enjoy for reconnecting with my magical self. Start by finding a candle, one that to you represents the essence of your magic, your witch spark. Choose a color that resonates with your energy, whatever feels right for this purpose. This candle is going to symbolize the journey to reignite your magical fire. And I want to say this, correspondences are beautiful, wonderful, they have their place, but I also want to express that it's the way you connect with those things as well. So find something, and for this, find a color that speaks to you, that speaks to your power. If you could visualize your witch power, what color would it be and why? Like, I think that's so important. It has your special jeepers. It has your special connection, your special imprint, your uniqueness, right? And so use that and understand, like, oh, it kind of reminds me of Marvel a little bit, like where you have Scarlet Witch and you have Agatha, who I believe is like her power is like purple. And you have the Green Witch and all that other stuff. And so it's fascinating to me. Kind of reminds me of that. What color would you associate? It doesn't have to limit your craft. It's just like, okay, this color I feel I resonate with most, and it speaks to my power, and this is why. So find that candle. All right. And use it. So sit with a candle in a quiet space, focus on that spark you're looking to rekindle, and start calling up memories of times you felt that powerful connection. Think back to when you first started, the joy and the excitement you felt, or other times when you've experienced like pure magic. Feel those memories deeply. Let them fill you with energy and power, and then pour that feeling into the candle. So important here. Like, channel all of those memories and all of those emotions and those feelings, that excitement, and channel all of that and put that into the candle. Like, pour it into the candle. Imagine that the candle will be a beacon. I almost said bacon. No. Just imagine that the candle is going to be a beacon, right? A guide to reigniting your magic, your passion, and your path. Make it yours. Customize it to how you feel it should be. So you can inscribe it with sigils that represent your work. You can carve your name into the wax and fully claim it as a part of your path. You can even put like if you're creative, like I'm not that creative that way, but you could put like a little oh my god, like a little you could put a little flame, like a little spark on one side of the candle, and then kind of as you like move the candle around, see that spark getting bigger and bigger. That would be really cool. That's good symbolism. Just make it yours. And when you're ready, light the candle. as the flame burns, visualize that energy, that spark coming back to life within you. Watch the flame, let it captivate you, and see your power reignite in its glow. It doesn't need to be complex. Just focused, just intentional, just, powerful and deeply meaningful for you. I think, and you can customize this in so many different ways, right? You can work with the lunar phases if you have time. Let's say you really want to reignite that spark. The full moon, that blast of full moon power, shit, that's good. That's good. You could use that. Waxing, see that waxing phase would be like really, really great for growth. Like, ooh, it's getting that fuel it needs to grow. The waning phase is a little more tricky because, again, it's decreasing. So you could even like light this candle up during like a full lunar cycle, okay? Work it to your own need. Even so, during the waning phase, you can light that candle up and you can see the obstacles in your way from your witch power, from feeling that connection. You can see those obstacles diminish. Does that make sense? And so you would utilize those different moon phases to appropriately cast. So the waning, get rid of the obstacles, get rid of the things that are cluttering your mind, your body, your experience from being able to embody the connection you desire. The waxing, see it growing, see the spark and the connection grow and get better. And the full moon, bam, bitch, like it's a huge ass light, and it feels really good to bask in it. So just make it yours. Make it yours. But that would be a really good ritual to have. Another cool thing, like when that candle goes out, like towards the bottom, like when it starts to like, go out, you can see it's like, oh, it's about done. Get another candle and transfer that power. So light the new candle from the old candle, and have both on your altar or wherever you're going to have this candle, and have them both lit. And as the first candle sort of like diminishes or dies out, the power is transferred, and the new is strengthened. And you can keep this for as however long you do this, right? And you can see how with time, with experience, with practice, how that would be very powerful. Definitely suggest starting that. You can also use like visualization exercises for releasing blockages. So along with your candle ritual, here's a visualization exercise to open up any blocked energy. Imagine yourself as a conduit for power, a clear channel with energy flowing in and out, connecting you to the elements, the earth, and the cosmos. Picture any old doubts or blocks dissolving as the energy moves freely through you, cleansing and empowering as you go. See your magical flow reigniting and opening up, revitalizing that part of you that feels connected to something bigger. This is a simple practice, something you can do anytime, anywhere to bring yourself back to center. Another cool thing is like you can be extra about it. If you want to use this visualization to release blockages and all that, and you want to use like maybe candle magic, you can use an orange candle to kind of like open the pathway. You can inscribe that candle with sigils of power. You can express words of power as you're visualizing and doing this to help you. Wednesday would be a really good day, Mercury's day, to open the pathways. Saturday would be a good day as well to sort of like release, to affirm those boundaries, to cast things out. So just, make it yours. And honestly, here's a truth I've come to rely on. You don't need elaborate rituals every day to keep that spark alive. I feel like a lot of us think, oh, it needs to be extravagant or I just won't be able to feel that power, that excitement. No, we train ourselves to believe that, and so we look for that, and it sort of desensitizes us to the little things, right? Small acts of magic are just as powerful. A quick 5-minute ritual with your candle, a simple grounding exercise exercise, or even a moment of intentional breath work can remind you of your power and keep that energy flowing. Magic lives in these daily touches, and they'll keep that spark present in everything you do. So remember, reclaiming your magical self doesn't require a trip to some ancient, mystical school, although that'd be really cool, honestly. It's about breathing, reconnecting with your energy, and remembering what made you fall in love with this path in the first place. And hey, if you've felt that spark reignite, keep fanning those flames and let that fire be part of your daily life. Now, if you've tried any of these exercises or rituals, or if this episode sparked something new in you, share your experience with our community or tag Not Every Witch on social media. Let's keep the magic flowing and grow together. All right, witches, we've talked about rekindling your magic, but now it's time for some unfiltered wisdom from our resident elder witch bitch, Rosemary. She's been around the cauldron a few times and has plenty of advice on reclaiming your power. So, welcome to...
Save me, Rosemary.
Today's letter to Rosemary has a twist. Dear Rosemary, I keep feeling like my spells are missing the spark. I know the steps, but how do I make my magic feel, well, alive?
Oh, darling, let me tell you, magic doesn't come from checking boxes or following instructions. You've got to infuse it with what's uniquely you. The spark comes from letting your magic flow and trusting your gut. Forget the right steps and ask yourself what you want to feel when you cast. It's not the spell that's truly alive. It's the witch behind it that makes it other, makes it more. So, next time before you cast, take a moment to center yourself. Ground that energy and feel your connection to the elements. If you're looking for a little extra boost, sure, add a pinch of rosemary. But remember, the power doesn't come from that sprig only. It comes from you and your connection to it. The magic is alive when you make it real. So, sweetie, stop worrying about what's missing in the spell and start putting you back in it. That's the real magic right there.
So if you have a question for Rosemary, need a no-nonsense answer with a side of, cuntiness, email info@noteverywitch.com with "Save Me, Rosemary" in the subject line. Who knows, your question might just get her magical treatment on a future episode. So there you have it, friends. Reclaiming your magic isn't about finding something new. It's about rediscovering what's already inside you. Magic doesn't disappear. It waits for you to remember it. Keep practicing, keep believing, and keep that flame alive. And if you're ready to deepen your practice, join our community at noteverywitch.com/subscribe. And if you're out there reclaiming your power, hello, tag us across social media with Not Every Witch. And let's have some fun. Let's share the journey together. So until next time, remember, your magic is yours to keep. Reclaim it, live it, and never let it go.